Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 10 lesson 3 set operators, intersect and minus. The syntax of using intersect and minus set operators exactly the same as using union and union all. This is the first component query, this is the second component query, and between them we put the set operator intersect minus union and union all. This is the compound query. The intersect operator returns the rows that are common to both queries and also remove the duplicates. Any common rows here and here will be returned by the compound query after removing the duplicates. The minus set operator returns distinct rows selected by the first query but not present in the second query. All rows returned by the first query and not exist in the rows returned by the second query will be returned by the compound query where the minus set operator used. Also here in the minus operator, all duplicates will be removed. All duplicates rows will be removed in minus, intersect, and union except for union all. This is an example of using intersect and minus operator. So in the first example, select employee ID, job ID from employees, intersect, select employee job ID from job history. So here, this example, return employee IDs and job IDs of these employees who currently have a job ID that is the same as their previous one. Table job history here is used to store historical jobs. For example, if there is an employee number 176 and the current job ID of this employee, for example, SA_rep. If this employee change his job from SA_rep, for example, to IT_prog, information about the old job will be stored in the job history. So the job history will record this is employee 176, the old job is SA_rep. The employees table store the current job of this employee. So this is the employees table. Employees table store 176 and the current job is IT_prog. If this employee again change his job, for example, from IT_prog and return back to SA_rep, the previous job is IT_prog. So here he will store again 176 and IT_prog, and the current job of the employee is SA_rep. So I want all employees who currently have a job ID that is the same as their previous one. So current job ID for this employee is SA_rep. Is there SA_rep for this employee in the historical table? Yes. So it will be returned. So he changed his job and then he changed his job and returned back to the old one. Intersect this data from employees table with this data from the historical table will return, in our example, 176 SA_rep. In the second example, return a list of all departments that do not have any working employee. The first statement returns all departments. The second statement returns the departments that have working employees. The first statement minus the second statement returns the departments that do not have any working employee. When we write a compound query that contains set operators, so this is the compound query, and this is component query, and this is also component query, and this is the set operator. When we write a compound query, data type and number of each column and all select statement part of the compound query must match. So here we have 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. Here 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. Number of columns and data type must match. Select last name, job ID, hire date as hire date from table employees. So table employees contains last name, contains job ID, and also the hire date. But in retired employees, there is no hire date column. So how to solve this issue? In this case, to match number of columns and data types between these two component queries, we can use toDate, toCar, and toNumber and null. Here we have hire date. In the second table, we don't have hire date. The data type of hire date is date. So here we can use toDate null. If this column is number, we can use here toNumber null. If it is character, we can use to_car null. So here toCar, toDate, and toNumber null can be used to make the component queries match in number and data type. So in this lesson, we learned how to use intersect and minus set operators. I hope this video was informative for you, and thank you for watching.